Here's the before, after. Much better, big improvement, big improvement. Here is my 2019 Ford F-150 King Ranch with the Coyote 5-liter V8. And of course it has this underwhelming single tip exhaust coming out of the passenger rear tire, which I've never been a huge fan of. So I was lucky enough to get someone to sponsor me to get a upgrade. So I have a stainless steel catback full exhaust system, polished stainless. Look at this thing, gorgeous. Catback, muffler, splitter, all the pipes, hangers, hardware, everything you could ever want. So if you have a Ford pickup and this is what you're looking at currently, and you can't stand it, you want to get an upgrade on the tone and just the meanness and sound of a vehicle that has a dual exhaust. Plus, just how cool is it just to have a dual exhaust? This is what all vehicles like this should have. It just burns me up that even like the cheap Ram trucks have those backup tailpipes, the duals with the cutouts in the rear bumper. And that's like, come on, man. Here's another one of my cars. And you can see I have the shotgun exhaust tips coming out of here, the 3-inch, which is what those are, 3-inch, by the way. And this car does not have stainless, and this is a show car. You'd think this one should have that, but that was just not in the budget back when I did this system. Before I get started, here's a shot of the rear. So this is your before. The truck's been sitting overnight, and this is I guess a cold start, if you can call it a cold start in Florida. Although this may sound rudimentary to some of you expert mechanics out there, I had to say it because some people need to be told. Wheel chock your front wheels, put your parking brake on in your vehicle. If you don't know where your parking brake is, it's right there. I have 2 jacks under there, and if you're lucky enough, a hydraulic jack to get under there. So right here, I'm under the passenger side of the truck, and this is where I'm going to first disconnect. This is where it comes out of the catalytic converter. So that's going to be the resonator, which is coming out, and that's going to get replaced by a straight pipe, and then it's going to work its way back to the muffler, which is going to split off into a twin pipe out the rear. Here's the first section I take off. This is 2 of these bolts, 2 13 mils, and since these thread into the old Ford pipe, you're going to have some nuts on hand. I think the 13 millimeter metric, but I'll let you know in a bit. In order for me to pull this exhaust out in one piece, there's going to be one more. There's a 10 mil right up here, right in this spot. And there's actually 2 10 mils up in there. One on the bottom and one up there on the top. The side, I couldn't see it from where I was sitting, but that's got to come out too. After I took out those 2 10 mils, get out that bracket right there, this whole unit would just drop right down. Right there at the muffler, you can detach that from there. Then you can pull this piece out that way towards the front, and you can start installing the new kit. Here's what your factory exhaust is going to look like when you pull it out. There's your back mount, the bent pipe, the muffler. This is where they join right here. This goes on there, slides over, locks down. This guy's a goner. I put that plastic under there because this thing is dripping some black goo. I don't know what the hell it is, but I don't think my wife would appreciate that in the driveway. Connecting the first piece, like I said, the factory gives you these, which thread into the other side on the female side. So that's not going to help. So I'm just going to use my own nuts and bolts. So we're doing the resonator delete, and you have the straight pipe. The straight pipe is going into the muffler right there. So I'm going to have to put a clamp in between here and there. So that's what these here are for. They give you a whole bunch of these. So this is going to be great to keep that nice and quiet. And they also give you these brackets for the rear, for the tips, because you're going to need those for the installation. Plus they give you this gasket maker. Not sure why they give you the gasket maker, but they give you some. I don't know. This is what one of those clamps looks like. You just take it, loosen it up, and you tighten on this one side. This bolt here is in a position whereas it can't spin backwards, so you don't have to worry about using 2 wrenches. Just one will do the trick. Put it on there before you slide it on, because once you get it on, it's on. So get this on, prepare it, put them on, then you can join the sleeves, pull this back, and tighten it down. Moving ahead, connecting all the pipes. I had the long pipe here going out on the left of the driver's side of the truck, and it connects to this elbow, which has two mounts. To do the mount, you might have to squirt some WD-40. I had to take a razor blade because they were super tight, and just cram it on there. Once you get it in there, you're in there. And as far as the actual mount itself, it's actually rather ingenious the way they have done this. The way it works is you take this, you slide it through, and over here, and you'll see there's another hole right next to it. Try to show you how this all works out. So as far as these mounts go, so I've got this one already pre-installed, but I'm going to show you another one. Just my freehand, because it's a lot easier. I'm going to take the long side of that, put it on this side, the outer side of it. And you're going to grab this guy. This is going to go in here like this and like this. And then you're going to put your nut right on top of that. And then that's how that's done. Here's another shot. So here's the pipe. There's the hanger, the rubber mount. Then you have this in here. This goes up in here. That's how you want it to be up in there. Here's another view. So you have the bracket up there with the thread of the bolt coming down, the meaty side going into the outer portion, because that's going to be there because this little hook goes into the round circle. Then when you tighten it down, it all comes together nice as a sandwich. Okay, so to mount up these brackets, this pipe here, you're going to take this rubber, whatever this rubber thing is called. I cut it like an X, and then I grease it up with some WD-40, just because those things are so tight. You can push and push, but you're going to be pushing and drive yourself insane. So that actually makes it bearable. Once you do that, you're going to take this and you want to slide that through here. You actually want the long side on the outwards, and then you have this piece which goes in here, and this fits right up into that circular area perfectly. And I'll just sandwich it all together, and then you just want to tighten that all together up in there. Oop, don't let it slide. Be careful of that. Tricky. Take your time. Still good. Perfect. Once you get that up in there, I'm just going to snug it just a little bit so it doesn't walk around on you. Now you're going to have to take this, and that pre-grease is going to really work out lovely. Now you just got to take that and push it in there. Try to get some leverage on it if you can. And then there you go. Then you can adjust everything the way you need it to be. Move on to the next piece. So this whole setup is all installed. All the brackets are going to get tightened down one by one. You have this bracket here on the left, and there's a mirror on the right side. Now this one on the inside is a tricky one. You have to pull the tire down and get up in there, put that through the hole, lock it down, put that bracket through here, and that holds this thing really nice and tight. So that sucker's not moving. You just got to put the tire back up. The exhaust is fully installed. This is the outcome. So we got the pipes out in there, shotgun style, flush to the bumper.